How do you react to that? So
I'm happy.
You've started this debate as to whether or not INEC has the power to cancel any elections. Yes. But he seems to be saying that Tafawa Balewa is in your own interest. Even if it is added, you're not going to win the election.
Well, the issue is not about me winning the election.
Sorry,
As I told you, I am not a member of the PDP.
Yeah, my
I'm just a concerned Nigerian who has been following the process and have been an active participant in the process in the last 20 years or more at the national level and at various levels. The issue is categorical. The issue of saying electoral, the RO in Tafawa Balewa said he didn't collect result is far from the truth. The issue is that the election, the primary basis of any election in the unit, election was collected at the unit, was declared, was collected at the RA, was declared. At the local government level, he is just transferring the primary data into the ECHC when hoodlums come and scattered the place and so on according to her, and he contacted all the others and continue with the writing of the results on their summary form, which is the point of law. But this is not even what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, the figures that INEC released that my brother is quoting us 45,000 is not even true. Let me give you the example. The issue is that there are suburbs who have a rerun in, according to INEC, 36 polling units across the other 18 local government areas, and the entire 196 polling units of Tafawa Balewa. If you add them, it will give you 232. But Tafawa Balewa, if it's taken out of contention because election took place, declaration was made at the right level, so there is no way anybody will cancel at any level. That aside, you are having a run not in 35. This is the paper that INEC presented. Ningi, they are having only polling unit that election will be rerun. And those polling units have a total number of 2,533. But INEC, mischievously or otherwise, they added 0 to the 2,533 to make it 25,330. But they have corrected themselves now. By correcting themselves now, those 45,000 they are cutting is not 45,000. It's supposed to be 22,769, where the run will be elected. And even then, it is telling us about the total registered voters in the area in the 36 polling units. But we are not going to conduct election with total polling unit, but the PBC collected in those areas. That is what matters. You cannot conduct election with the total registered voters. Example, Nigeria have a total registered voters of 84,004,084. But the election took place with only 72.7 million of the PBC collected, whereas we recorded only 35% of the number, which is 28 million plus that participated in the elections. So even going by that, as depicted by my brother, that with Tafawa Balewa, PDP have 14,000. So if PDP have 14,000 and you're supposed to have a run in 36 polling units that have total registered voters, even if you consider total registered voters 22. But the issue of contention here, those 42, only 5 units that INEC said there were violence. The other 31 units, the record of INEC, they are saying overvoting. This is Al-Qaleri overvoting, Bogoro overvoting, Daraza overvoting. All of them, with the exception of Kirfi, Misau, Ganjua, and Gamawa. So anything, according to INEC rule, if there is an overvoting, it considered 0 vote.
Exactly.
Overvoting is 0 vote, and you see that my brother is okay with that.
Is that great?
Overvoting is 0 vote. And also, non-compliance with card reader is 0 vote. So if you substitute all those 0 votes, because it's an overvoting, that is a punishment for the area, and if overvoting took place, it's 0 vote. So why will you go for a run in a place whereby you're supposed to have 0 vote? So if you are supposed to have 0 vote, you can only go for a run in the areas where there are violence that disrupted the eligible voter to exercise their franchise, which are only 5 units. And those 5 units have only a total registered voters, not even PBC collected, of 3,929. So if you are considering 3,929, with even the 4,000 as it is today, Tafawa Balewa aside, There is no any contention there. It's just like the case of Adamawa, Plateau, and Co. So the reality is that why some of us are concerned, I have never been a member of PDP. We are concerned Nigerians that have been following the process that want to see our country progress, not retarding. INEC will not have separate rules. This kind of issue happened in Ogun, where Abiodun have 241. The other candidate, Akim Bade, have 222. The difference is 18,000, whereas they have 25,000 council vote. There wasn't a rerun. It happens also with Ozikalu in Abia. The difference surpassed that. There wasn't a rerun. So what we are saying, you cannot have two different sets of rules for different people or different places. It can't work. We want the process. The process that brought President Muhammadu Buhari is a free, fair, and credible process that he defeated an incumbent in 2015. He won his election in 2019. So we want to say justice denied, justice delayed is justice denied. You cannot, injustice to one is injustice to all. What we are saying, where PDP won the election, like in Adamawa, which is clear because the margin, you can't, even if you go for a run, the PBC collector is at 1,000. Margin is 36,000. Total registered voters 40,000. What is it? It's an academic exercise that it doesn't even have any distance. In Bauchi, if you tap out earlier when election was conducted, it was validly certified at all the levels. That means with that, you can't cancel tap out earlier because no law allows you to.
So let him speak now. Let him react now. He's talked about the number of.
Let me clarify. Let me clarify something.
Let me tell you what. So that for the sake of our viewers.
No, don't worry. I have it.
Let us understand what he's saying. If I may, gentlemen, let us understand what he's saying. He's saying that the number of PVCs collected right now does not warrant, it's not, is 3,000, is that what you're talking about?
No,
3,929. And it doesn't, just a moment, it doesn't warrant another election being conducted there because of the difference of between the two candidates. He's saying you're only going to be conducting elections for 3,929 people.
Let me clarify something.
You don't agree with his figures?
I was in Bauchi. I participated in all the process. The declaration, the position. His position is not.
Do you agree with his figures?
No, I'm not.
You don't agree with his figures?
Not at all.
Okay,
not at all.
By all means, go ahead.
What? Can you clarify, Ningi? Is it 25,000 or 2,500?
Let me clarify Tafawa Balewa, because the point of contention is in Tafawa Balewa. I said initially that 4 federal votes were collected validly and accepted. But the remaining 8 federal votes, this is where we had problem of violence, intimidation, and the law is very clear. So what we are saying, there ought to be a supplementary election in Tafawa Balewa so that the people should freely, in a very democratic setting, choose leaders of their own choice. That is what we are saying.
Which is fair. Look
at it. I'm coming from Bauchi.
He has broken down.
What we are saying, he cannot.
No, hold on. He has broken down from INEC. He says this paper is from INEC. You have not.
What I have here.
You have not contested.
What I have here. What I have based on my own computation.
Yes.
He's not a returning officer either. What we have here, I said it. PDP are leading the ruling party with 4,059 votes. This is the position of the law, because that is what the INEC said.
What he's saying is that there have been areas...
I'm coming.
Let me land down my question. There have been areas where overvoting was, noticed, and INEC, you agreed with him, and in those areas, INEC says it's 0 votes. The votes have not been cancelled there. They're going
there is going to be supplementary election.
No. They have assumed that the elections have been conducted and that 0 has been recorded in those areas. That is the position of INEC.
Okay.
Do you have a problem with that?
No, I have a problem with his submission, because that is not what I have. Because
not my submission.
I'm clarifying. Because the issue of contention, Doc, is Tafawa Balewa.
Okay, let's go.
I am coming. Who is responsible by the Electoral Act and the law to announce or to declare the result of
Interpower.
I'm afraid you cannot be conducting your own interview here. We are totally out of time.
So what we are saying...
But I will ask you very quickly, in the areas where overvoting was recorded, do you think that the vote should be cancelled and a rerun done there? Is that
exactly.
That's what you want?
Exactly.
But INEC, well, let us wait and hear what INEC will say. We understand that they sent an investigative team to Bauchi and they will be submitting a report today at the INEC headquarters. We'll wait and see what the reaction of INEC will be to those situations. But we have to thank you, gentlemen. We're out of time, I'm afraid. We have to go. We have to go.
Don't mind.
I'm sorry.
5 seconds.
Mr. Bello Mohammed, I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Bello Mohammed is senior, was Sabo Mohammed, my apologies there. A senior special advisor on education and public enlightenment to the Bauchi State Governor. He resigned because he wanted to run for a House of Representatives under the platform of the APC. And we also had with us Dr. Sadiq Umagombe, who is Secretary General, ROI Initiative for Good Governance, and former Secretary General, Coalition of Progressive Political Parties. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on Sunrise.